Today's mindfulness challenge is appreciation.
I realize that people got feelings, and I reach towards their feelings and not their minds because they've been brainwashed. So why should I try to reach something that's brainwashed?
Alright, I have been sick for the last 3 days, and today I slept for like 13 hours, which is ridiculous. I drank all this orange. Why is it that orange juice, why is orange juice a universal drink for when you're sick? I don't get it, but it's mine too. Long story short, me telling you this is because I'm just gonna sit here and explain where my brain went trying to do this appreciation thing today. So there won't be any like fun craziness, or maybe it'll be fun because it'll make you think in a different way, or if you hate thinking, this probably isn't a vlog for you, just come back tomorrow and check it out. So let's get into it. You know that saying that goes, you don't realize what you have until it's gone. The same idea is like you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone. It's kind of hit me today. I mean, just from a sick perspective, you don't really appreciate your health until you're kind of all jacked up health-wise. Like, why do we only appreciate something when it's gone? So my goal for today is to try and explore why we don't appreciate things while we have it. Let's rewind this a little bit. You know how there's like this focus in the news and in life about problems, and that all this negativity, when you turn on the news, it's like
bomb and war and Trump and Hillary and Trump and Hillary and Trump and Hillary and Trump and Hillary and murder and rape and people stealing kids and raping kids, gossip and like tabloids and who's marrying who.
We could dive into this deeper and explain like how government corruption and all sorts of this, and people trying to control people, whatever. I like to look at it like life is a balance, and it feels like we've known this for a long time. Like the Asian cultures have had like the yin and the yang, and the scientific community has, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, which is essentially yin and yin and yang is the opposite and equal reaction. It's one and the same, right? So there's this balance, right? That balances everything out. And last year, I forgot the day, I wrote it down in my journal, but I tried to figure out if there was anything on earth that did not have an opposite, and I couldn't come up with anything. If you guys can think of something that doesn't have an opposite, let me know, because I am struggling and I couldn't do it. That's kind of cool.
Like there's a good and a bad and a Bert and an Ernie and a poor and a rich and a God and the devil, sickness and health, black and white, up and down, left and right. Like there's opposites, right?
Because I have been dealing with mental health for so long and have this intrinsic internal exploration for my entire life, there's always been this like analytical brain, which I am like 98%, and then there's the emotional brain, which I struggle with immensely. The analytical brain is always trying to solve problems, what is wrong and how to solve it. And it seems like when we're always tapped into this side of the brain, depression seems to come out of it more. A lot of people who think and are very analytical too much seem to suffer from depression more than people who are just emotional, which is weird because people think as depression as an emotional thing. So for me, always trying to solve the problem, it made me look at a lot of problems, that there's a lot of negativity and problems in the world, in my life, in my friends, and it was very critical, right? It was very, very critical. Instead of trying to fight it and become more emotional and feely, I just couldn't do it. But instead I used my analytical side to force myself to see the positives. That was another problem in my life. I wasn't able to see the positives. So I used my analytical side to focus on the positives in my life. And by doing that, it created a balance. And when things are in balance, life's pretty good. It's usually when the scale's tipped one way that shit hits the fan. If all you do is focus on the negative all the time, all you see is one side of the equation. Same is true if you only look at the positives. You only see one side of the equation. But in reality, they're on the same page. But if you look at both, then you can see a broader picture instead of just one thing at a time, constantly freaking out about it. And for me, by being able to do this, I was able to appreciate things more without them being gone. So in a world so focused on negative all the time, what would happen if we just balance the equation out? I'm not saying become an optimistic person if you're a pessimistic person. I'm just saying become a realistic person. There's both sides to the equation. Ignoring one side is just as bad as ignoring the negatives is just as bad as ignoring the positives. If you're searching for truth, what's real in this world, and by only focusing on one side, That is false. I want the big picture. So I don't really know if we need to lose something to appreciate it. You know, you don't know what's hot unless you experience cold, and you don't know what's cold if you experienced hot. So maybe you don't appreciate things until it's gone. And I don't know if that saying is really true or not. Maybe it starts that way, but then as you grow and evolve and learn things, you tend to appreciate things because you know they can be taken away, even if they haven't been taken away yet. Whether it's food, shelter, your pet, your parents, your loved ones, you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone. And that's kind of the beauty and the sadness. The balance. That's the balance. I don't know if this made any sense. Like I said, I'm kind of sick and on Dayquil because it's daytime and I'm not on NyQuil. But life is meant to be experienced, and I'm going to experience this sickness, and curiosity will get you there. I'm pretty curious about it. I've never experienced sickness with this mind frame, which is kind of cool. I'm going to have fun on the couch. All right. I'll see you later. Blah. On another weird note, why is it 100% completely acceptable to not change your clothes when you're sick? It's kind of weird that just because you feel crappy and your blood cells are protecting you, that you can wear dirty clothes. But you can't wear dirty clothes when you're feeling healthy. like, oh, he's sick. Let him wear that shirt that smells like the back of a dumpster. Bigfoot's